So again, yes, but we will be just discussing about the different, sales document types that are available, and what is that, what all, how do you differentiate what is an inquiry, what is a quotation, different fields that we will see inside the sales document. Yeah, but these are all the sales documents that we will have, but we will just talk about in detail, like, before we go into them, we'll just talk about in detail from an SPRO. And again, so whenever we talk about any sales documents, it basically will have something called header data. Okay, header data is the data that will be applicable for all the line items, and again in header they will have, you will have an item data, item 1. Let's say header data is your food sales document. Inside this you have item 10, then you will have one more item called item 11, or item 20, whatever it can be, item 20, something like that. You can have multiple items. Under each item, again, whenever we talk about item, there will be schedule lines. Okay, schedule lines, we will have them. Sorry, 1 minute. I think, okay, under each item you will have a schedule line. Similarly, for the next line item also you'll have schedule line. Okay, so this is how you will have. So there will be a header data in every sales order. Whenever you have three kind of data. One is a header data, another one is an item data that you will have, another one is a, okay, another one that you have is a schedule line data that you'll have. Okay, so these are all the three kind of data. Sorry for this drawing, because I think it's taking some this thing, but okay, just for your understanding, to have a breakdown of the structure. So in every sales document you will have a header data, item data, and a schedule line data. So header data is the data that is applicable for all the items in a particular sales, in a particular sales transaction. It will applicable for all the items that you will have, and every item will have its own specific data, like, this particular material, what is the quantity, and everything will be specific to that particular item. And next material will be different quantity, it's different unit of measure. You will have different or maybe, like, you wanted to have a different, we will see, but header data is the data that will be applicable for all the line items. In most of the cases, whatever you maintain the header, it gets copied to all the line items. If in case you want some data to be different, then you'll maintain the data in that particular item specific. And every item will have a schedule line data, and schedule line will consist of the delivery dates and the confirmed quantities. Okay, in most of the cases, the customer master that you maintain will be mostly applicable in the header level. So in the header level, all the customer master that you will be getting copied will be at the header level, and all item related, the material master related that you have will be at the item level that you will have. And based on the confirmed quantities and the delivery date that you will have, the schedule line gets populated. So these are all the three kind of data that you will have in your sales documents. In any of the sales document, there will be header data, item data, and your schedule line data. Okay, so header data, just one more time, this header data is applicable for all the line items that you will have, and item data is like item specific, like, the weight of it, the weight of a particular material, or I would just call it maybe some volume of this, or any of this. It's an item data that you will have, and schedule line data is related to your delivery dates and the confirmed quantities. Okay, again, to confirm schedule lines, to confirm in a schedule line, there will be something called, if you remember yesterday, not yesterday, the last class, we have seen the schedule line based on the pick pack and the loading time that we maintain in our shipping point. The delivery dates would be different. The maintain you main the replenishment lead time, if in case stock is not available in the material master, the schedule line gets different. So the schedule line is mainly controlled with all this, pick pack time, loading time, again, we will have multiple different times we'll talk about during the delivery processing. So based on all that, the schedule line gets confirmed. So these are all the three different kind of data that you will have in your sales documents. Okay, now let's just first before we go into the details of the creating of an inquiry and a quotation or this thing, as of now you guys just remember these particular three transaction codes, three different kind of data. And in terms of creation, again you can remember VA11, VA21 and VA01. VA11 for inquiry, 21 for quotation, 01 for orders. But in order for user to, now for example, I create a particular sales order. There are certain data that gets how system knows this is a sales order, how system will know which is an inquiry, which is a quotation. And whenever I place an order, just if I place one order and save, let me just go to in completion log, document is complete. If I save it, there's a number range that is getting generated. How this number range is getting generated, all this control will be inside the configuration in the backend that we will have. So we'll just first see what is the backend configuration that we have, that that we need to check. And again, okay, table level details and all, will because I already explained about the table level, just okay, just the header level details, whatever you have in the header level. One second. Whatever you have in the header level will get stored in a table called VBAK. Okay, this is a header level. Whatever the item level details that get stored in a VBAP, and whatever the schedule length that gets stored in VBEP. Okay, so VBAK, VBAP and VBEP, these are the basic tables that you have. But apart from this, the partners will have a different table. The copy control, again you will have something like confirmations that you will have. Then there are different tables, like for the partner functions, for the terms of payment, for the business data there are some different tables and all. We'll see the tables. As of now, you can just remember VBAK, VBAP and VBEP. These are the three tables that we need to just think: VBAK, VBAP and VBEP. So whatever is the header data that gets stored in VBAK, whatever is item data that gets stored in VBAP, and whatever is schedule and data that gets stored in VBEP. Okay, now let's look into the backend configuration of this sales orders, and where do we configure them, how do them, instead of OR I wanted to use my own document type, how do I configure? And we'll all see that. For that, again, you need to go to SPRO. Okay, go to SPRO again, as we have already, I think we already spoke about it, but just whenever, or you can go from tools, customizing, IMG and SPRO. This is a link path that you will have from the tools, from the customizing, IMG, SPRO. Click on this and click on this IMG menu, FI, or you can directly enter a transaction code called SPRO and directly try to do an FI, try to enter this particular menu. So this is the menu that we will be using. And again, the easy access menu, we means the IT people. We are the one who are responsible for all the configurations and customizing will be done in this menu. And easy access menu is a menu that is used by the users, and there the master data and transaction data. If you can see all this VA01 or the MM01 or XK01, or so not XD01, all these transaction codes that we were just discussing, basically all that is in the easy access menu, because master data and the transaction data is mainly from the user point of view that they need access. But in order for us to do anything in the background, so we use this SPRO menu. So let's go into the SPRO menu. Then now we have all the different modules, like the financial accounting, enterprise structure, already have defined it. Again, financial accounting, they'll have their own thing. Logistics general is again combination of different logistics modules that we will have. For example, the business partner, or let's say the material master is common across different departments in logistics, so we will have them in the logistics. But now we are talking about more specific to our sales documents and all, so it will be under our sales and distribution menu. So go to SPRO, go into the sales and distribution. Inside sales and distribution, now here you go to something called sales. Inside sales you have something called sales documents. Under sales document, here you can see you have sales document header, sales document item, and schedule lines. Now the document type that you assign will be at the header level, so which is outside. For example, I go to VA11 or VA21 or VA01. This inquiry, it is at the header level. It's the sales area details and inquiry you are entering outside. Even the customer master you are entering at the header level. So if I can take for example our VA03, the sales order that we have just created now. If I just go inside, so here this is all header data. If you just go to edit or here from go to header, so at the header level you have something called sales, shipping, billing, accounting. So these are all applicable on the header level. Whatever it is there, it is applicable for all the line items. If you have some 10 different line items, this data whatever is at the header level will be applicable for all the 10 line items, right? Again, if you double click on this is a header, you can display header document, or you can go to header, or you can directly display here. And item, you can again double click or select it and click on this item details. Then you have your sales, shipping, billing, pricing. All this will be at the item level that you will have. And again, inside item you have something called a schedule line, which will have the delivery dates and the confirmed quantities, right? Okay. Now whenever we are talking about now, because the document type what we are entering when we go to VH01 or any of this transaction is at the header level, at the beginning of the level that you will have. So now just go back to let's go back to our SPRO. Let's go to sales document, in sales and distribution, sales document header, and define sales document types. Okay, here all your sales document types you have. IN is for inquiry, QT is for quotation, OR you have all the standard sales document types. OR is for orders. Then you will have your debit memo, credit memo. You have multiple sales document types that we will be having. But how is that we are just differentiating, and again you can create your own order types, you can create your own let's say inquiries types, quotation types, your return orders, your rush orders. All these we have some standards, but we'll just explain. But inside again there will be some configuration inside which we would be differentiating what is an inquiry, what is a quotation, what is the difference will be controlled inside the settings that we'll have. So we'll see that settings now. So let's try to take OR as an example. What you can do is you can copy this OR and create your own. I think ZOR would be already taken by someone. I don't think you will be taking it. Yeah. So I would just say maybe something called ZYM is my sales order type. Okay. So maybe something you will create, you'll create your let's say your own sales document type and a description of it. Again, this is all fine. Now in any sales document type, for example, so sales document type is nothing but your order type. Your OR IN is for inquiry. Your let me just save this first. I just create something ZYTM. And for this sales document type, the maximum that you can enter is 4 characters. Whenever you're creating your sales document type, you can have until 4 characters. You can define your sales document type code. It can be from 2 to 4 character length that it can be there. copy it from, just copying some different tables. If you guys don't want to copy and create, let's say initially I would suggest everything that you create, copy and create. Maybe in the later point of time when you're practicing it, don't copy it, everything create on your own. So in that time, what happens, you will face multiple errors. There are different errors that you will get. Even the enterprise structure or whatever you do not copy and create. Once you have actually go through one round of creating things, second round, don't copy and create, because at that time what will happen is you will understand the different errors in the different departments. Then you can try to explore the errors, so it will help you in order to know like how do you solve those errors. Because in the real time you don't have such, whenever you're working on a project, you will never have such feasibility to see the errors or to test something. So here you have an opportunity to play around, to understand different errors and solving them. That will really improve your knowledge, when you solve those errors, because there are so many different errors that SAP would give. It's a chart of accounts is missing, then you will see, okay, maybe that's not part of you who should know. You in the real time, you'll just reach out to the FI people. If in case there is some material related, or if in case we saw that OBYC and all, right, you just directly reach out to your people, you don't care in the real time. But if you know them, then it will really help you to understand it much better. Why is the issue, what is the issue. Then you will not only improve knowledge in your in our SD, but also in the cross function modules, like, okay, where do FI define what, where do define what. So okay, if you get this error in the real time, where should you go and solve it. So you can also help them, like, the other consultants also, with already with error details and what configuration that they need to do. That would also really have a different kind of an impression among the team. So it's a very good opportunity for you guys to uh, you know uh, to actually explore on your I would say, like, create everything from the scratch, so that you'll get errors and you solve it, and that would help you in the later point of time. But after you run one end-to-end cycle, or once you create some things by copying, because if you just don't create, and if you just keep on getting errors, then there's no point that you will be able to do it. But finish one round, then you can create something on your own, without which. Anyway, so let's continue. So I have created something called ZYM. So as of now, which is exactly the same what I have as my OR. I have not changed anything at the moment. So we'll try to see what is this, what are the different settings that we have inside this. So I just double clicked on this to go inside, or you can select it and you can see this details. I copied it from OR to ZYM, but if you want, you can just go to new entries and create something on your own and directly fill in accordingly, as well, because I just wanted to have one reference of it at this point of time. So I just copied it from OR. Okay, so let's go to, let's go inside and we'll see what are the different steps that we have. So if you just, these are the different steps, means different controls. So these are all the ones, the controls of a particular sales, sales order type. Like, what is a number range that it has to come? What is an external number range? It would be there. So for example, we were talking about now, when we create a customer master, where does the control of a customer master lies? Any one of you guys remember? Where is the control of a customer master? To make some fields mandatory, optional, to have a number range, what's the control that you have? Okay, you guys have to remember all those, huh? Because again, please practice, because or else what happens is you'll just topics will just keep going on, because we will have more topics and more faster topics. As of now, I'm trying to spend more time to understand the basics, but please, or else it will be difficult for you to know. It's controlled by account group. So account group is the one that would control what is the number range, which fields to be made mandatory, optional and all in the backend setting. If you remember, we went into the account group and we had control we have actually different controls. Similarly, material master is controlled with the help of material type. So inside a material type is what you will define the number ranges and all, then you will be controlling your material master. At similarly for the sales documents, it's controlled by the sales document type. So the sales document type is the one that controls your particular sales order. It's just 1 minute. I'll just keep laptop for charging. Okay. So your sales document type is the one that controls if it's OR, what is the number range? If it is ZOR, what should be the number range that you should have? Or if it is inquiry, what is the number range that it needs to get generated? Everything is controlled by this sales document type. So the sales document type controls the different functionalities of a particular sales document. Whether, if you want to have different number range for inquiries, different number range for quotations, different number range for orders, where is the control? It lies here inside the sales document type. We'll assign different number ranges that is there. So if there is a question asking, okay, let's say where do you have the control of all the sales documents? So it's then you'll have to just say it's based on the sales document type. The control of the customer master lies in the account group. The control of the material master lies in the material type. I'm just repeating so many things on every class. Please remember them. Huh? Okay. So now we are talking about the sales document type. So the sales document type is a kind of an identifier, okay, of a particular sales document. So whenever you create this ZYM, then when you go to your VA01, if I try to go to my VA01, now if I try to search here ZYM, you should be able to find your ZYM. Your Tesla sales order type is created, and you can try to create your document. You can create your sales order using my own order type. Okay, now here is a type and the description of it, and then we have is a sales document category. Sales document category is the one that actually classifies a sales document into various categories. For example, like if you just like how now here I'm telling it's a sales document, it's okay, but inquiry is also here. Now if I just go to IN is also here, quotation is also here, but if I try to now, let's say IN, I'll try to go to VA01 and try to give IN as my document type. System will not take, saying that process sales document type IN only with the help of transaction code VA11. I'll try to give QT. System says no, it has to process only using VA21. If I go to same, let's say VA21 and try to enter OR, the system will not allow me. It says you have to use VA01. Where is this control that is lying? How is that system knows inquiry has to be from this, quotation has to be from that, and OR or ZYM has to be from from VA01? How is that it is controlled? We have here the sales document category. This is the main control that you will have, saying A is for inquiry, Q is for quotation, for orders, for scheduling agreements, for contracts, for credit memo, debit memo. So you have different sales document categories, and sales document categories are something that are defined in the system by default. You cannot create anything new. It's something from an option that you need to select. So this is how it differentiates. System will know which is an inquiry document, which is a quotation document, which is an order document, and so on and so forth. For example, here instead of C, if I maintain it as A and save my order, save my just for the sake of testing. Now if I just go to VA01 and if I try to use this document type again, ZYM, system will throw me an okay, I think it still did not it still did not, might have not updated. I'll just go back here. Let's go to VA01. Sometimes system becomes slow, so it doesn't allow you. No, it is still taking, but ideally it should not allow. Maybe after some time if you come and check, it will not allow, because ZYM here we have made it as in sales document category as A inquiry, but it's not allow. Maybe the system might be a bit slow, so you are able to see it. Okay, if you maintain only it as C is what it will allow. Maybe if you just log out and log in back, it should not allow me. You can test on your own as well. If it does not work, just log out and log in once, then it will reflect. So if you go to this now, if I just go to this IN, then you can see here we have sales document category as A. Similarly, if you just go to quotation, then you will see sales document category as B. Similarly, if we have, we'll see the contracts and all later, but the sales document category is what that controls what kind of a document are you doing it, whether it's a sales order or whether it's inquiries or quotations. Let's go back to our ZYM or OR, anything that you want to see, you can see. Go inside. Now the next one I have is sales document block. Whenever you select this, then this sales document will be blocked for further processing. Might be you were using a particular sales document type, and uh, you later point of time that particular sales document type is no longer being used, uh, and maybe because you have some you don't want to create anything new, or but you have some already some sales orders and all that is existing, so you don't want anything that newly created, but whatever existing should not have any impact. If you're there is, if you have newly created, and if in case it is not being used, you know that okay, this has been created by mistake, then what you can do is you can directly delete it. You can delete that particular sales document type, it gets deleted. But if you have some transaction data like orders or deliveries, whatever that is existing, then you should not delete them, because again, if in case there is some returns or anything, there'll be an impact on the document flow and there'll be impact on some tables. So you can just block it. So whenever you block this sales document, then you will not be able to create any sales order using that particular sales document type. It says sales document type is blocked for processing, I cannot use this. So like that, you guys test, I'll explain now the fields, you guys actually test it and see what is that system will do it. Okay, so if you leave it blank, then it's not blocked. If you make it as X, then it is blocked, like for all the sales document types. If you block it as A, then it's only applicable for automatic processing. So if in case you're not creating it manually, and if in case you wanted to make the document available for some automatic processing, then you can use this A. What is that automatic processing, how do we use it and all? During the project phase, we'll talk about like some calculation, but in generally for a regular document types, it can be either blocked or no block. Okay, then you have the next important thing that you have is a number range. So there is a number range internal assignment and there's a number range external assignment. So you can have two different number range that would be taken into picture. And in case of a number range, whenever you have, what is an item number increment is what that you maintain here. Item number increment and a sub item number increment, which means we'll talk about the number range, but now for example, increment means, for example, if I have this okay, I remove the block, it's still not updated. I'll go back to VA01. I press enter. I give some customer. I give some material, some quantity. I give my second material and some quantity. If you can see here, the item number that is going is 10, 20, something like that. It is going. It's not 1, 2. It's not happening as 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is this control? It is controlled by this item number increment. And sub item number increment will come into the picture whenever you have I'll explain you, like inside this item, if in case you have something like a bomb or some other explosion that you can have, like you can have sub items inside a particular material, then it will be 10, which means the line item bomb is a different concept. I'll explain in detail. So but in that concept, then inside this car there will be multiple sub materials. So for those sub materials it will be 1 2 3 4 5 and all that you can use. uh, for example, just giving you a very example, but we'll talk about, there's a separate concept called BOM is nothing but, for example, this material, just imagine it's a computer. Okay, because that is a very generic example. In generally everywhere that's been taken, it's very easy to understand, so I'll also try to take the same example. So for example, computer, inside computer is your material that you're buying, but it's a computer as a whole, you're paying, let's say, some 50,000 for it. But inside that you have monitor as your sub item, you will have your keyboard as another sub item, you will have your CPU as another sub item, you will have your mouse as another sub item. So inside computer there are multiple items, and there is a hard disk, and so on and so forth. So there are different other materials that are getting involved, all combined together, you call it as a computer. So which is kind of which is a simple example of a BOM. So BOM is any material that you will have. So for you will be paying for computer as a whole, but that involves the cost of a monitor, of your CPU, of your hard disk, your keyboard, your mouse, everything, all the materials are there. So that's a BOM. So in that case, you will have a computer as a material, but inside that there are sub items. So whenever you have that concept coming into picture, then you will use this sub item number increment, how it should be. So let's say you don't have any BOM concept, or you don't use this anything, and you want here the item number increment not 10 20 30, you want it to be 1 2 3 4, then just change it here to 1. Okay, if you change it to 1, then if you try to create anything here again the sales document, then it will be controlled, saying that okay, it would be uh, VA01. If I try to create, now if I try to create one material, not a quantity, you can see here it is taking it as 1 2 3 4, or the item number increment is taking as 1 2 like this, because you maintain it as increase every 1. If in case you maintain it as 10, then increment will happen every 10 10 20 30 40 like that. So that is how the control lies in for the number range interval. Now let's talk about the number range. So the number range can have, in SAP it is possible to have an internal number range and an external number range, which means there is a number range. Now whenever I was creating this this ZYM, BPS and all, or maybe or if I try to create our sales order and all, when we gave our sold to party, ship to party material and we saved it, it generated a number range on its own. Right, system generated a number range. When you go to VA03, this is a number range that system has generated internally, but you have an option to enter an external number range, or because you wanted a number range that represents some a number range that is coming from another system where you wanted to create with exactly with the same number range, then you will use something called an external number range. So whenever you go into your VA01, whenever you have OR, then you can enter your sales order number directly here. And what is the number system has to take is again controlled with the help of this item number range external assignment. Now 01, if I just go one step back, let's save this. If you just go one step back, and here you have defined number range for sales document. So we have 01 and 02 assigned, right? Go to this interval and go to the 01. You can see 01 is from this to this is the number range that it has, and as of now 15622 is the latest number range that it has been consumed, because that is the latest document number that we have used. If you guys can see in our sales document, whenever you use this, 15622 is the latest sales order number that we had created this morning. So it says whatever is the latest sales document number is what it gives you. So this number range is from 1 to some 199999, but as of now you have consumed until this number range. So this minus this gives you how much more number range that you have that is available here. Similarly, now I wanted to enter, let's say, an external number range. Again, external number range will be used in sales document in case you have in the real time, in case you have some third party systems where the order is getting created and the customer has a requirement, the order number should be matching, the order in some other system should be exactly the same number range as in the SAP system, then you'll use this. But if not, also we have other ways of doing as well, using some PO number and all, but we'll talk about in detail. It's always better that system generates its own number range for any of the transaction data, then we giving our number range to them, because this is a transaction data. It would be very difficult to in order to remember what was the previous one. If it's a material code and all, we understand, okay, because it's a master data, we will remember our material name. Okay, we know what is that particular material, we can have a code, we can give external number range, it's well and good. Customers also, to an extent, yes, because we know that customer name or something like, we can create some external number range. But for the transaction data, it's not advisable. But if in case they have that requirement that I would like to create with an external number range as well, then you can use. Now, for example, if I go to this VA01, now if I just give my customer here, now if I try to give, let's say, some from the number range that is there, from 500 maybe 100 something, then already existing. So because this is a problem that gets, we don't know which has been consumed. In internal number range, you will know what is it that is being controlled, but here you will again have to go to table and give the full number range and see what is there, what is not there. So let's say maybe, okay, this is a number range that is not being used. I just gave some random number range from this range, some 500 500, then you will be able to create your own order type as well. Okay, then system will still allow you to create it. From somewhere it is opening new tabs. Okay, clear. I can give my own number range and I can save this number range as well, and the sales document with whatever I have given would get saved. Okay, and for example, now if I try to create a new sales order with not with this number range that is existing, maybe with OR I try to give with a sales document, maybe that has uh, that has a number range of, let's say, this 04. I'll try to give this number. What is happening here? Why is it stuck? Okay, maybe I'll try to give one more number range that has 15123456. 16123498, something like this for this inquiry. If I try to give some other number range, then system will throw me an error saying that it has to be only between these two, 500 and 5999. It will not allow me to enter any other thing, because external number range here, it's only 02 that you have, and this is a 02 that you have assigned in your sales document type. Inside your sales document type, there's something that is, system is slow. Okay, let it get processed. So let's go to SPRO. I'll go from another one. If you try to go sales and distribution, sales document header, sales document types, and take ORR, ZYM, whatever it is, because it's one and the same at this point of time. So you have 02 that is assigned. So if you want to create your own number range, you can also do that. Go back here, define your own number range, go to this change interval. Look, if you want to use one of the existing number range, it's well and good, or else, if you don't know, if you want to create your own number range, go to this interval and okay, let's do some okay, I think here we don't have this thing. I think, yeah, for the sales document type, we'll have to just check, you know, it's not an easy task. You need to find some number interval which is not being used, and you can create, maybe, I don't know, or what can be done is, let's say, what I will do is I just copy this. As of now, it's only 15,000. Okay, let's not touch it because it will be used by many people. Let's say you can reduce one of the number ranges of one of the internal number ranges. For example, this is from 3002 399 349999. Maybe you don't want, no one will consume so much of number range, so you can just reduce to 31 here, and then you can use some 32 to 34 for your own number range. So you can do, let's say, uh, just for the sake of testing, I'll copy this if you want it, if not, it's now I just change it to 31999 for this, and I saved it, number range. Now I will insert my own number range, saying maybe TZ something. I'll give the number range as not 3, this will be 34, and I will use here, it was 31999, right? So I use 3 2, कितना है 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, we enter this. So now TZ is a new number range that I have created. Okay, and this number range I can go and assign to, for example, to my sales document type. I have maybe ZYM is what I have created, right? I'll just go here and assign maybe internal number range as TZ. Let's just say, if I save it as TZ, and I'll save it. Now if I try to create maybe, let's say, just a quick check, if I try to create VA01, my sales orders, okay, then you save your sales order, then your new number range that it got, okay, still taking the old one, ZYM, why is it still taking the old one? There is a, I think there is some, I think we should just log out and log in. Just give me a minute. Let me just log in, log out and log in. Just because again, system looks to be pretty slow. In generally, it has to work, but let's try to create and see. Now if I try to go to create VA01, let's quickly do it. ZYM, yeah. Like this, you need to do whenever you change some field. From now, I'll explain things. You come, you test, and see what is an impact. As of now, just how do you change it, how do you know, is what I'm trying to show here. But we'll try to, create our documents. You guys have to come and test and see it. See, now this is 32000 because we gave our number range from 32000. This is a new number range system has generated with our ZYM, because we have assigned, this. Guys, just give me 1 minute. Get ready fast. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, now, yeah, so I was just mainly talking about uh, the internal number range and the external number range that you have there. So you'll have your own sales document that gets created with your number range. So let's start now. So we'll just go back to different configuration like that, change it and test it. So we'll quickly discuss about the fields that we have. We'll not be able to finish it, but it's okay. Uh, let's try to go through the fields that are there, which is important. So change the fields, test it, how we are doing it, so that you will understand what is an importance of that field and what is an import, how it is being used. So number range assignment internal, number range assignment external. So like this you will have. Then you have next thing as a reference mandatory. Reference mandatory is something like, if you want to create a particular document only with reference to some other document, then you use this as reference as mandatory. For example, I wanted to create a quotation only when there is an inquiry. I wanted to create an sales order only if there is a quotation. I don't want to create, a sales order without a quotation. So in that case, this reference mandatory, you can control it. You can control it if you want to make it as mandatory. For example, test this. So whenever you go ZYM, and if I try to, if you make it as reference mandatory, because this is my sales order type, if you make your quotation as mandatory or an inquiry as the mandatory, in generally for sales document, the quotation mandatory, for an inquiry, for the quotation inquiry is mandatory. Then if you don't have a quotation, if you try to create your sales order directly, then system will throw an error. Okay, so system will not allow you to create a sales order because if you don't have an quotation. So when you enter this, then system will ask, boss, okay, when you're creating a sales order, give me your quotation that you have created. So you need to enter your quotation as mandatory, without which system will not, will not create your sales order type. If you maintain this reference mandatory, change that and test it. Okay, then you will know. Then you have here is a material entry type. Okay, now for example, you have here material entry type is kind of uh, it's basically like, whenever you entering a particular material, so what is the kind of a material that you enter. Now for example, whenever you're creating a sales order, uh, it's a material number is what that will be entering, right? So it's a material number. How is that being controlled? If it is blank, then system is saying, okay, whatever you're entering is a material number. So but if you select this B, uh, you know you enter the material number and also with the product catalog combination. There is something called product catalog that's there. We will talk about it, but it's mainly from an point of view. They have something called a product catalog determination. So system will ask to enter like, your material number along with the product catalog. And actually it's basically a different control that you will have. Product catalogs and all, it comes mainly from the SRM and some part of the So yeah, if you want to use a product catalog, not a full catalog, not just the material number that you enter, maybe even for the sales, then you'll be using them. But for us, as of now, because that's more about the concept that is coming from a different module. So but for you guys use this, the input value as material number. This product catalog determination and all, it's a different concept, we don't need to worry. But just for you to understand, along with material number, if in case there is some requirement that comes, okay, like if in case if you change any material order number or the product catalog combination, then we will keep the value in this field. If in case you have this product, if in case you're using this material number, we'll keep as blank. But if you're using this product catalog or something from a catalog determination that we have it, then you can use this thing. But it's not, it's mainly in some industry specific, they'll be using this, with some other values. But basically it's a material entry type will always be blank, so that the actual material number that you're entering will be part of it. Okay, then you have item division and check division. Okay, item division means the item division checkbox. If you check this item division, then you can, whether division in the item in your sales order should originate from your material master or from the document header, is what it says. Now, for example, you have your division. Whenever you're creating your sales order, you have your division that would be coming in from your, you're entering your division here as we do. That's well and fine. So let's say if I don't enter this division here, okay, then I try to create your sales order, but sales area is mandatory for anything that you create. Now I enter this order and I enter this quantity. Okay, now if I just go on the header level, you see the division is getting determined automatically. Even at the item level, this is the header level, it's okay. But if I have multiple sales areas, here in this case it is fine. Now I have a division that is coming in my material master as well. Here we have only one division, it's okay. But if in case you have multiple divisions, you have multiple divisions and distribution channels, multiple sales areas that you have defined. So in that case, if we don't give a division, then if system, the system will actually, from where system has to take this division information from. For example, if you leave this blank, if in case this is left, sorry, actually first is, yeah, item division. So if in case you leave this as unchecked, then item division is copied from your sales order header. Based on your sales order header, it gets copied again in the master record and all that you create. It's copied from your sales order header. But if in case you check this, then it is from the item of the material master is what it gets copied. So the item division gets copied from your division that you maintain in your material master. You can just read. So indicates whether the division item level is proposed from your material master record or the one you enter in the header level of a sales document. So if you uncheck this, then it will be the division is copied from your sales document header. If you check this, then it is copied from your material master. In the material master, have if you want just a different division and see what system would be able to take. And again, the sales area should be existing and the customer should also exist. But even though if you don't enter it, system will be able to take this. Okay. Then check division. Check division is nothing but check division is a field whether division at the document header level, if in case if it is different as the division in the document item level, which means you have a division separate in your material master that is flowing and you have a different division that you have entered. Then if in case there is a different that is different, then there are these options that are available. One, if you leave this as blank, then which means, okay, it's not F4. 1 minute. Now it is going to some other one. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah. If you leave this as blank, which means if in case there is a division that is different from the header and the item, then there is no information, there is no warning, there is no error that system would get. There's no problem. But if you maintain it as dialog, if in case division is different from your header and from your item, then you will get a warning. And 2 means it is an error message. So if in case the division is different, if the division is different in your material master and the division at your sales document header that you're maintaining it as different, then you will get this error message. This error message will be issued. So how that, if in case you have this item division or the division, how the system should behave if in case division is different will be controlled by this check division. You have this dialog, have a different division in the material master, have a dialog, have an error, and no dialog, and you can test the difference how the system will will behave. Okay, because let's say now you may have a question, why can there be a difference between a header and an item? division. So there can be some scenarios that you wanted to configure, let's say a cross division sales, or there can be some business requirements, where they would like to say we have some cross division sales where in the material master the divisions would be different, but I will be selling it from a different division that it's there, because the material could belong. So then you can have this check division, you know uh, if in case it is allowed, then you can have this check field blank, so that it won't have any errors if in case division that you enter in the sales document is different from your what you maintain in your material master, which will be at the item level. But if in case that's never going to be a scenario, then you can have it as an error or a dialog message as well. Okay, change this and see the difference that you will be able to find. Then you have the probability. So probability is basically like the the success rate of a pre-sales process is what they talk. So what is the success rate of this particular pre-sales process is what we maintain here. If in case it's a sales order, whenever we're talking about a sales order, it's always 100% success, because sales order means you have won the deal from the customer to place an order, right? So here basically like you maintain, it's always for an order, it is always 100%. But if it is at an inquiry level, if I just go to IN or a quotation, then it would be, let's say, probability here they maintain it as 30%, which means once the inquiry is done from a pre-sales, 30% would be converted, will be having some quotations. And if you just quote quotations, then here you're maintaining a probability of 70%, which means whenever there's a quotation that is created, on an average there'll be like 70% of the probability that it will convert into a sales order. Once you have in your sales order, it's always 100%, because the order is created. So from a pre-sales point of view, what is the probability that it gets converted into an actual sales? Because inquiries and quotations that you will be creating, just in a, I would say they are not any official documents or anything. It's just a customer coming and inquiring. Okay, boss, I want this. Then you will maintain, okay, what is his inquiry? Then according to his inquiry, you give a quotation to him. If you place an order before this date, so this is the price that I'll give, this is a discount and all, you'll give a quotation back to him. But it does not have any other important document. But when you come to a sales order, the sales order will become an official document between the customer, where you will have your delivery dates that needs to be confirmed. You will have an actual legal terms that would be agreed, what would be delivered, what's not, and everything will be coming only at the sales order level. Inquiry and quotations are like one of the pre-sales documents that you will have. Okay, so that's about the let's say probability that you maintain here. Okay, then you have here read info record. Read info record means if this checkbox is there, if you remember, we have this customer material info record that's there, right? So if in case this checkbox controls whether the copying from the customer material info record should be done or not. So when you check this, which means if in case you maintain your customer material info record, the details that is maintained in this customer material info record gets copied from that to your sales order, as which is an important one. So if you don't check it, then you don't, like if in case you don't check it, then those information will not get copied from your sales document, from your info record to your sales document. Okay, clear? All right, then
Yeah, clear enough.
because I will maybe the rest of the fields we will discuss in the next class. Some check credit limit, because again just need to explain a bit in detail about the credit activating and deactivating and so on and so forth. But yeah, we can discuss the rest of the fields, important fields, in the next class. We'll try to finish the fields that we have in the next class, and yeah, uh, then once you know these controls, then you can play around with the controls that you have. Okay, what will you enter, what is not, and you can can control. Maybe what I will do is, um, okay, uh, it should be fine. I think rest everything we would be controlling it. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll just finish this general control section. It's okay. It's going to be a quick one, but I'll just finish this general control session. Then we'll go with the transaction flow from the next class. Just it won't take much time. Just within 5 minutes we'll try to ramp up. Okay. So that at least one section gets completed, you can play around with that particular section, changing things here, reference mandatory, check division, all this you can already work on it. I also read info record and all. So okay, here we have the check credit limiter. So in generally, whenever there's a customer, when we place an order, there will be a credit check that happens to a customer. We have a separate concept called a credit management. We'll discuss in detail how do we have some credit checks, what are the different kind of credit checks that we can have, if in case if it goes to an if it goes beyond, how do we block, if in case customer is not placing and he's not clearing his dues and all. We'll talk about the details, but here this is mainly saying whether you wanted to activate or the deactivate this credit checks in your document type. For this sales order type, should there be a credit check or not? For example, for an inquiry and a quotation, why should I have a credit check? Because he's not placing an order, he's just inquiring, and I'm just giving a quotation. For IN and for QT, I don't need to have any credit check. To give a quotation, I don't need to do any credit check for him. I'll keep it blank. But for an order, because he's placing an order, so he need to clear the amount. So we need to take orders into your credit management, saying that whether because it's an officially he's placing an order with us, so you will have some credit check. So this field is controlling whether you would like to have a credit check or not credit check. For inquiries, quotations, maybe for returns that he's doing, we don't need any credit check for it. But for any sales order and everything, you will need credit check. If you leave it blank, then there won't be any credit check for that document type that would be applicable. And we have if in case A means it's again, it displays if in case the credit check fails, it will just give you a warning. B means again it will give you an error. Then automatic credit check is again a different concept that we have, where automatically how simple credit check and automatic credit check are two different concepts that we have in credit management. We'll talk about it in detail about the automatic credit check in the when we come to that particular concept. So here mainly whether you're saying whether you need a credit check or you don't need a credit check here. Okay, again the credit group is nothing but you are actually grouping different in order to carry some credit check, you are actually grouping certain documents together. For example, you'll group all your sales orders together, you'll group all your deliveries together, you'll group all your goods issue documents together. So like that, whether the credit group is for sales order, for example, now OR is my standard order type. This is one group. This is an order type. I have something like a CS, which is my cash sales. That is another. Maybe he is coming at, okay, for cash sales anyway, he's paying a cash, so you don't need any credit group, because credit group is where when we greet for credit is what it comes in. Maybe I will take rush orders. RO rush orders is also kind of okay. For example, rush orders. Rush orders means he places an order, he wants an urgent delivery. So we'll talk about what is a rush order and all. Rush order means it's basically like, he wanted an immediate delivery. So not with your standard order type. So rush order, whenever you create it, you need to deliver to the customer immediately, saying that, he has a very urgent requirement and he's an important customer. You create something called a rush order so that, the delivery process can start immediately if the stock is available and all. So you are grouping them together. If you place an order with RO and with let's say OR, different order types, so you should be able to group them together and see, okay, how much amount or how much credit he is he's he needs to pay. So this is also a sales document, and the OR is also a sales document. So you're grouping them together into one group, so seeing that, okay, all the sales orders will be in one group, all the delivery documents in one group, all the goods issue will be in one group, so that if you can carry your credit checks, you need to assign to say, okay, you can have all the different like for a sales orders means whatever the customer has placed from your rush orders, from your sales orders, and again from other order types where we're giving in the credit, everything will be grouped together. And you will look at a credit limit, and you will see overall together. So it's at the document type level that you're current, you're doing the credit group. But okay, we will talk in detail when we talk about the credit management. You will understand, might be at the moment, just understand on this high level, so which will help. Then output application is it's a standard one. We'll talk about an output application when we talk about output determination, not at this point of time. Then you have here check PO number and enter PO number. For example, if I do this enter PO number, then the PO number in the sales order will become mandatory. You need to just enter mandatory. And if in case check PO number means system would check if I have already created some PO number. Okay, I'll just now, let's say as of now the sales orders that we have created, if I just go back here and display, there is somewhere minus or something is getting clicked. I don't know from where. Okay, now if I just go to your VA03, if I enter the sales order number, here you have this PO number. Okay, PO number, and I think we have created with let's say ZYM. If I go inside ZYM, if I check this, I have maintained it as enter PO number. So if I just uncheck this, then if I try to go here, and if I try to go VA01, this is the PO number it is talking about. Here if I just enter any of your order and your quantity, then you save your order. Is it saved or not? Okay, it's saved. /n xt03. What is getting clicked here? Why am I going? 1 second, sorry. Not VA03. I'm going VA03. Now here, if I just go inside, there is no PO number that is getting generated. But if you check this enter PO number and save it, then the PO number, if in case if it is not data, if you don't enter it, then it becomes, its system will take it on its own. For example, now I'll just do both, but it's mainly talking about if you go to the previous 300, you will have the PO number existing because you have clicked on this enter PO number. If in case enter PO number is there, then system will be, will enter a PO number, will expect you to enter a PO number. If not, system will generate the PO number on its own. And if in case you have, let's say there's something called a check PO number, OR, okay, I'll take OR only, and if I enter this check PO number, let's say check the purchase order exists, I save this. Okay, for OR, now if I try to enter a sales order with OR, not with this, because the changes to OR, any of the document tabs. Again, if I take to V2, I create one sales order, say test. Okay, 27. If I enter the material, why is that so many? Something is getting clicked somewhere. I don't know. So many windows are getting open. What is wrong with my keyboard? I really don't know from where it is getting open. So many windows. Okay. Now if you can see here, test already exists with 155 96, there is a warning message system is giving. This PO number is already existing. So how is that it is being controlled? It is controlled with the help of your, this check PO number. If I maintain it as A, then it is saying that, okay, it is a PO number with test already exists. So it is giving a warning, and you press enter, it goes. But if you want to turn it into an error, then with the help of an ABAP, that we could control. This PO number is important. If in case, if in case in your business, let's say your sales order will be a purchase order for a particular customer, right? Based on a particular purchase order in his books of records, in your customer books, you're a vendor to him, and in your records he's your customer. So if in case two ERP systems, if he says, but he wants, from his purchase order that he has created, he will also have a number. So he want that number to be entered during your sales order, so that he can also have a track, this sales order is against which purchase order that he has inquired. So at that time you will use this purchase order number will come into very handy, in order to copy his purchase order number into your sales order document, so that you can have the link and the track between, his book of records and our book of records. So that's the reason why this PO number plays an important role. If it's not there, it does not have much of, if it's not being used, there's no PO number and all, it does not have much of a relevance. But if in case PO number and all something that is existing, then this would play an important role that we will have here. So yeah, this controls whether, PO number is whether the PO number to be entered, or whether the PO number can be warning. And if you want to make it as an error, then we have an option to make it as an error, but not by standard. With the help of some ABAP code, we could make this error as, we can make this warning to turn into error. How do we turn and all? We will talk about a bit later, but it's mainly with an ABAP. There is a transaction code we'll talk about later where we will be able to see that. Okay. Then here commitment date is again some, it's kind of an obligatory date that we need to maintain. For example, if in case if it is there, then we are just committing to the customer that we are certainly obligate to the delivery dates to be met. So whenever it, if you say this, we need to give it to on that, then it is mandatory that we need to, if in case you select any one of this, whatever is the date that we commit is the date that we should be delivering to the customer. So if in case we maintain this, then the system would, the SAP to calculate the commitment date also, like to have some commitment date also for the sales documenting. But in generally, we will have some, we'll just leave it as blank. We'll not maintain any commitment date as such, but we will say, okay, this is a date on which it will be delivered, but maybe due to some, some conditions, in most of the cases, if you don't maintain this, it can be delivered on your schedule and dates, whatever it is. But if in case you maintain this commitment date, then it becomes, the delivery date, whatever you maintain, uh, it has to be delivered on that date. So this kind of a scenario, maybe it would be coming into something like a make to, it's not like, we have uh, whatever we are running as of now, it's known as make to stock, and we have something called a make to order. For example, aeroplanes that they order, or the HUL and all, whenever the HAL, whatever they order, right? These big companies, so they will have, they will, for example, Airbus, all this, they actually work on preparing, this aeroplanes for a particular company. Whenever Airbus gets a contract and all, it's a make to order. It's not stock is available that they go and buy it. So based on the order that they get, they will start making the product. So whenever you are making a product based on customer requirement or according to his specification, when they're making it, then it becomes a make to order. At that time, it is very important to have this commitment dates. So these commitment dates will be used in those, scenarios where, mainly for a make to order scenarios where, customer would say you need to meet your deadlines, and this sales order, whenever you say that, it has to be, taken, it has to be delivered on a particular commitment date we need. Clear? Okay, I think yeah, just this section is what I wanted to discuss. So you look into this, and we'll continue with the next section in the from the next class.